What's up guys, Digga here from ProNDC. Welcome to another ESO build video. So in the past weeks I have been asked to upload veteran Maelstrom arena builds again, and I decided to start with the Magicka Sorcerer. Even though like most of the runs I did on PC, I did it with the Magicka Nightblade, but I decided to go with the Magicka Sorcerer as it's really popular right now, especially if you use pets. And yeah, I'm running a pet in VMA and it's working really well. Like my very first clear on PS4, I did it with the pet. I had the Clan Fear with me, and it's great because the pet can take aggro from mobs, and you do not have that much pressure on you, which is great for me. You can still do a really high score. I think like I'm pretty sure like Streak1, like a couple hours ago, he uploaded a video where he did like 594k on his Magicka Sorcerer. His build is also working really well, and it's slightly different than this build, but I am really happy with the damage output. And yeah, pets are great. They deal a lot of damage. Some people say like pets are only for VMA if you're a beginner, if you want to play it safe. I completely disagree because the pet's damage is really high. So let's have a look at the stats right now. I'm sitting at 46.8k max magic. You will have a little bit more max magic, I think like around 47k if you're maxed out on CP. You can see I'm just at 537 on this account. On my PS4 account I'm at max CP. But I decided to do my build video here on PC because I do not have any Moon Dancer staffs sharpened or any VMA staffs sharpened. So you'd have more damage with the best in slot setup, but even with random staffs it works pretty well. And yeah, I decided to show it like this because a lot of people complain like, oh, I do not have VMA weapons, what should I use? And here I'm not even maxed out and I'm still doing really decent scores here. So all points into Magicka, you're sitting at about 18k max HP if you have your pet summoned, however, and if you're maxed out on CP you should sit at around 18.4k HP. 10k max stamina, unbuffed, 48.7k spell crit, not k, 48.7% spell crit. If you're buffed you sit at 58.7%, and you get 3% more from your passives from the sorcerer. 800 Magicka recovery, pretty basic. Thief Manda Stone, max HP and max Magicka buff food, and that's pretty much it for the stats low. Oh, also 2k spell damage unbuffed. Buffed, it looks like this. We're at 2.3k spell damage, 925 Magicka recovery, and 58.7% spell crit. For the gear, I'm running Grothdar instead of Alambris. The thing is, Alambris procs these meteor showers of lightning and fire, and they're really strong. They actually deal a bit more damage than Grothdar, but the thing is that it's stationary. So like Liquid Nightling, if Alambris procs, it will stay there. So if the enemies are moving out of the AoE of Alambris, they won't get any damage. And the good thing about Grothdar is Grothdar creates a lava pool around you and moves with you. And if you're really good in VMA, you will move towards a lot of enemies, or like move in a way that they will come to you and stack a little bit more, so they all get hit by your blockade and your liquid lightning. And if also your Grothdar activates, you have a ton of AoE damage. And also your pet, so if you use the pet skill, it will deal really insane AoE damage. So yeah, that's why I choose Grothdar over Alambris. Both give you max Magicka with 1 piece set bonus, and then Grothdar has a 10% chance to proc. and 10-second cooldown. So Elambris is more damage if you go normal PvE and you need to stay ranged, but Grothar is for me, it performed better in VMA. Then I have 5 pieces of Necropotence, and you can buy it in the guild vendor. This one drops in Wall of Madness, and the shoulders you get it from the Undaunted chests. Everything divines, and everything enchanted with max Magicka. Then Necropotence gives us a ton of Magicka, and the 5-piece bonus is we get 4k more max magic if we have a pet active, which is nice. Then we have 3 pieces of Moondancer jewelry and random staffs. Lightning staff on the back bar and Inferno staff on the front bar. And yes, I've been lazy. I should buy a glyph for my main bar. I have the weapon and spell damage glyph on the back bar on my lightning staff, but I, however, do not have it on my back bar, on my front bar, because I'm cheap and lazy. So I should really go and buy this glyph. Then in Morvlorkash or VMA, no, veteran Morvlorkash, you get the Moondancer jewelry in gold quality. If you go in there in normal mode, you can get it in blue quality. However, if you only run veteran Maelstrom Arena and you do not run trials, or you do not run VMOL, you can still go with willpower jewelry. You can get it for like, I think, between 5 to 15k per piece in arcane, and enchanted with spell damage, and it's a really good replacement. If you do not have Moondancer staffs, you can go with willpower. The difference is not really big. It's like point something percent. I'm not really sure. There was on the ESO boards, on the official ESO board, there was a topic and they calculated the damage difference of willpower and Moondancer if you only use 3 pieces. And Moondancer actually is only better, like much better, if you use a Moondancer staff sharpened on your front bar. So if you have a Moondancer Inferno staff, use Moondancer jewelry if you have it, and if not, you can still go with willpower. Like the damage difference is almost non-existent. Willpower will give you a little bit more max magic and a little bit more spell damage. And that's it. Sharpened staffs, Inferno on the front, Lightning on the back. The reason behind this is the passive of Ancient Knowledge. So Inferno staffs give you 8% more damage on your single target abilities, and Lightning staffs 8% more damage on your AoE abilities. So why do we have an Inferno staff on the front bar? So our single target abilities are my Force Pulse, my Fragments, and my Mage's Wrath. So these are single target abilities, and they deal much more damage with an Inferno staff on the front bar. This is our main spammable ability, Force Pulse. Then we have Crystal Fragments. We only use them when they proc. So when your hands glow, like this, then they will cost 50% less Magicka and will deal 20% more damage, which is really nice. Then we have our Stable Familiar. You can use this ability again, and it will deal shock AoE damage with an 8-meter radius, 6-meter radius, which is really, really nice for 8 seconds. Then we have Mage's Wrath, our Execute. What do you want to do in VMA? It's pretty similar to PvP. You want to use this like one time on big mobs, to like pre-execute. You have 4 seconds time to get the enemy below 20%. So, for example, if there's if you're in the 7th arena and you have one of the mini bosses, one of the trolls, you can like pre-execute the enemy, and if you have like Crystal Fragments procced and he's at 24%, you can pre-execute him and then shoot the fragment, and he will drop below 20% and explode. If everything crits, you'll die, most probably. So pre-execute, use Mage's Wrath, and then do some damage because you have 4 seconds time. If it's a boss enemy, just use Mage's Wrath a couple times while still using your ground AoEs, your ground dots. Then we have our empowered ward. I chose this morph because the size of the shield, there's actually like almost no difference to Harness Magicka. You can still use Harness Magicka if you prefer it, because the costs is actually a bit cheaper with Harness Magicka, because you will get some Magicka back, so you can cast it almost for free while shielding yourself. But this one lasts 10 seconds, so it's a bit personal preference. And this also shields your pet. So sometimes your pet can die if it's a bit stupid and decides to like stay in the ice water in the fifth arena. You can shield it with this skill, which is nice. Then we have Fiery Rage. Most fights I use this ultimate because it's really strong, and you can burn so many enemies with this ultimate. And yeah, decided to put this on the front bar because I prefer the Fire Rage instead of the one from the Lightning Staff. Then we have Blockade of Storms, which is also really nice because it's lightning damage and it can deal concussion to enemies. And concussion will give you 8% more damage for I think like 4 seconds. And I'm not sure if it's 4 or 6 seconds. Because it deals minor vulnerability. So minor vulnerability will let the enemy take 8% more damage from every source of damage. And then also if the enemies are concussed, they will get set off balance by the Blockade of Storms, which is also really important, and I will get to that when I talk about champion points. Then I have my Liquid Lightning, and also really strong. Put it down when the enemies spawn. I will talk about this in a couple of seconds. Then we have our pet again because it's a toggle ability. We have Elemental Drain. I only use this on mini bosses, big mobs. The little mobs, they die too fast to make proper use of it, because this will give you minor Magicka steal. So while you do damage to the enemy that gets affected by Elemental Drain, you get back 400 Magicka every second, which is really nice for Magicka management, and also for debuffing the opponent, because you apply Major Breach to the enemy. Your penetration sits at about 10k. I think like the max resistance is about 12.2k. I'm not entirely sure. Some say it's still 18k resistance. I think it depends a little bit on the boss. Like most of the enemies of the bosses should sit around 12k. I've read that on Terminal Foundry. I didn't test it myself, so I cannot say for sure what's right or wrong here. But with Elemental Drain, you should put them at about 0 resistance, so you get not just some Magicka back, but you can also debuff them to get more damage. Then we have Power Surge. Power Surge is really important because it buffs our spell damage. Make sure to have it up. Lasts for 33 seconds, and whenever you critically hit someone, you get healed, which is nice. So you get 2.5k HP for each crit every second. Make sure to have it up all the time. It's really important. Then we have Energy Overload. On my overload bar, I have my pet, my shield. For a bit more resistance, I have Boundless Storm. Then I have also Liquid Lightning. You do not need it here. And then I have Dark Deal. So like between rounds, if I am low on Magicka, I just cast it a couple times to get back Magicka, which is really nice. And it also heals myself. I only use the overload for the second bar. You could put Elemental Rage, the Destro ultimate, on the back bar and use Shooting Star on the front bar if you want to, but you do not have to. You could go with Inner Light on the front bar, take Drain out, and play like this if you want to. Then if you have more max magic, you'd sit at almost 50k, which is nice, but it's totally up to you. So if you do not have any problems with your Magicka management, you can play it like this. I, however, prefer in VMA to have my my shield on the front bar and use Elemental Drain from time to time. So, champion points. Why is this off balance so important? Well, in VMA it's not that important because the fights are really short. You can still make a good use out of the Exploiter passive, which you have here. You unlock it by putting 75 points into Thaumaturge. And because all the other trees don't affect the damage you do. If the enemies are set off balance and you have this passive active, they will also they will take more damage from you, 10%, which is nice. And then we have right now we have 86 points into Elemental Expert and 18 into Elfborn. If you have max CP, put 22 points into Elfborn, 100 into Elemental Expert, 1 into Staff Expert, and 77 into Thaumaturge. We do not have a lot of points into Elfborn because our crit chance isn't that high with Necropotence, and also our pet doesn't deal more damage. I think if you put pets do not get affected by CP, and also pets do not get buffed with Major Prophecy. So if you take a potion that gives you spell crit, your pet will still have your base crit chance. I'm not entirely sure, but from the test that I've done, from all the screenshots that I have, my pet sits at around, let's see, I think, no, I don't have the screenshots here. I have them on my laptop. My pet's critical crit strikes are at between like 45 to 55%. So it deals way less crit strikes than all my other skills. So I'm pretty sure pets do not get buffed by Major Prophecy. Back to CP. For the green tree, pretty simple. I'd split 100 and 100 into Arcanist and the Mage for reduced cost and Magicka recovery. Then on the red tree, no points here. I have 44 into Hardy, 100 into Elemental Expert, and 35 into Bastion. You could put more points into Bastion if you want to, but like 18.9k shield size for me personally is enough. So like all the other points, I will put them into Hardy to reduce the incoming damage. And that's pretty much it. So for gameplay, I will just shortly explain. I just buff myself, and when I see the white glowing light of an ad spawning, I will just put down my Liquid Lightning and then my Blockade, and then I will go to the next light and start doing damage to the enemy that spawns. In the first couple rounds, you do not need to like cast your pet all the time because the enemies will die fast anyway, and you can see it costs a little bit of Magicka. And if you do it like, if I play with my normal PvE rotation, like put down Liquid Lightning, my Blockade, and my pet, it would drain my Magicka a little bit too fast. You can cast the pet's ability if you want to, but you do not have to. Like if a mini boss spawns, I will cast the pet and command the pet to attack the boss. And like if there's a lot of enemies, I always cast the pet's ability. But it's like a little bit up to you, or it depends on the situation if you want to cast the pet's ability or not. Like I said, if you cast it all the time after your Liquid Lightning and Blockade of Storms, it would drain your Magicka a little bit too fast, and then you might struggle with resources. But yeah, that's about it for today. I hope you will enjoy this build video. I will try to get a recording of a decent run to show the build in action. And yeah, thanks you guys for watching. I hope to see you next time as well. Make sure to leave a like if you like the video, and sub if you do not want to miss any more ESO content on my channel. So see you next time, guys. Until then, bye bye.